Hey, now it's Saturday morning. What's going on, people? It's the 27th of November. Um, Partially, what I wanted to do in this video was to kind of just shout out to a channel that I find myself watching regularly now, and that is the In Groove out of Phoenix with Michael Fremer. Is it Fremer? No. That's who he was responding to. Anyway, I thought I would mention his latest video today where he responds to someone else where it's like I find what I'm trying to say is I appreciated seeing the integrity that the man used in responding to some BS. He made a video about acetates, and then it's worth watching. If you watch my videos, you probably watch him too, or maybe he's someone you ought to check out. The End Groove. I just liked the way he was very straightforward, with integrity, staying focused on facts and not emotions, which is one of the biggest problems we have in communication, is that people don't know the difference between emotion and information. Really enjoyed watching it. I deal with it here myself. And I just like that. I say, yeah. Don't suffer fools, and smart enough to not lower himself to what the other people think is going to work, which is they're being emotional and illogical. And so they just try to push buttons, trying to bring the other person down to that level. And he says, I'm not having it, and I'm not having it either. I learned, I don't do that. So, as is the case, you scratch an itch, and then you got to scratch some more. So I went and bought some records at Recycle, got home, listened to them, really enjoyed them, bothered to look at Homer's video for the day where they showed the used records that they had put out for the day. I saw one that I wanted. I thought to myself, it's probably not going to be there, but it's enough to get me to go up and go and see if it is. And it was gone. Miles Davis Doo-Bop on vinyl. I've never seen a copy on vinyl, and it was gone. Damn it. But, of course, if I go to a record store, I'm going to find something. So what did I buy? I went ahead and got another Record Store Day release down there, which I thought to myself, I'm going to get it. I already have the album, but it's the collectability of it. The new edition of Miles Davis Live Evil. Still have my original copy, came out in 1971. My brother James got it before I did. Blew my mind. I still remember the first time we listened to it, me and James and Charles Gamble at the house. This blew our minds. And it's still just fantastic. Just all kinds of sparks flying on this session. And I got it for the collectability of the color of the vinyl. Now, I think I like the pressing of the original better than this, to be honest with you. Sound-wise, it's about the same. But I dare say that I think that they pinched some pennies on the choice of who pressed the actual records. I don't know. That's my comment. The other things I got were in the used section. And this one I got lucky because it came in used, then it was gone, and then I think the person brought it and sold it back. So I got to get it. The Pere, the Modern Dance, their first album. When this first came out, I bought it. I had it on the Heathen label. Was that what it was? And it was so long ago, I don't know how I lost it. But this is non-alignment packed, the way the album starts. Frankly, the whole album. No one sounded like them. Still really don't. From David Thomas's voice to the use of electronics. very unique, important, historic band, Pere. Cleveland, is it? Cleveland they're from? This one I got because of association. I already knew that it's there's a lot of rock and roll and kind of pastiche doo-woppy shit on this album. But Tom Newman, Final Tom. Tom Newman was an engineer at Virgin Records when they were first doing the underground stuff in the 70s. Tubular Bells and stuff like that. He's the engineer. And I knew about this record. And there is a song in here that I like, thankfully. Will You Be Mine in the Morning? But people like Fred Frith and members of Jade Warrior are the backing band on here. And that was partially why I was always interested in having it. Happy to say that I enjoyed listening to it last night. It's not the sort of thing that it's like, wow, I'm really knocked out by this, but it's pretty cool. Glad to add it. These are reissues. I'd love to have an original, but this was sealed in the used section, so I grabbed it. Sunday's reissue of Incredible String Band's 5,000 Layers of the Onion. 5,000 Spirits, or Layers of the Onion. Now, in a way, there's a disconnect with this music because this music, the way they do it, it's like going time traveling. Minstrels and bards and stuff in old England. And when I think about it, back in those old days, had I been alive with my skin color, it would have been even worse for me than now, I think. And yet somehow I relate to this music. And even the stories, the things that they'll say will just take my mind away. But I love this music and where it takes me. And I also love that artwork. Incredible String Band. So I grabbed that. I grabbed, I think, 2 or 3 more. Another reissue. Ornette Coleman, Cannot Be Denied. Change of the Century, okay? With Don Cherry, Billy Higgins, Charlie Hayden. All you gotta do is listen to this stuff. Look at the dates when this stuff was recorded. And this was all new. Mr. Coleman was on to something. All new. Still very refreshing, and it's kind of like, what? What'd they just do? What did he just say? Genius. Ornette Coleman, the genius. And is this the last thing I found? Yeah. And this was cool because it's like it's one of those old records from the 60s that I would see in the cutouts but never managed to get a copy of because I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, and yet I was intrigued. So this was in the used. I grabbed it. The East Side Kids, The Tiger and the Lamb. You can't tell. I couldn't tell what it was going to sound like from this cover. But Uni, when Universal MCA started this label back, was it in the 70s, with the yellow label, kind of piggybacking off of the psychedelic thing going on. These records, when I saw them, I was always intrigued. Not everything on the Uni label was good, but I would always want to know what was this like. I mean, Neil Diamond was on Uni. Of course, I like Neil. This is really good. It's a blend. It's like a band that can play all kinds of styles, and it's almost like a review. Some songs are like soul songs. The end song on side 1 is Prague. There's some rocking rave ups on here. When I look for information about the band, it's like really almost nothing, Really glad I grabbed it. So, that's how it goes with records. I like to buy, I like to shop, I like to crate dig, so I need to stay home today. I don't need to go and buy any more records today. I need to wait. And so I'm going to. I love seeing your comments. It's nice to know that many of you really do get a benefit from spending time with me in these videos. Hello, Dave. I will be sending you bass. I know there's no hurry. I just thought I'd mention it because the next Mana Mirage, I've laid down a bass track. I'm not going to send it to you because I can do better. But it's kind of like letting it ferment the idea, letting it grow. So, Pat, Omaha Pat, I gave you a call yesterday. If you see this today, brother man, you can call me, okay? I want to say this about the holidays and about psychology and loneliness because I just posted this on my Facebook page. Thanksgiving Day, some people I know were very upfront about feeling their loneliness on Thanksgiving. And I offered some words of support. And the thing that I shared today is that I'm so glad that I learned that loneliness is more of a thought process than an actual emotion. It is an emotional state. We feel loneliness. But what I learned in my profession is that state is fed by thoughts and especially memories and things like that. And we can change our thoughts. We can redirect our thoughts. We can examine these thoughts so they don't have so much power over us. And I was just sharing that this morning. And so I like to put those things in here, the power that we have as individuals over our perception and our management of our lives and things in it. It's just really important to keep getting the message out, to not let others try and dictate to you their reality. When that's done, it's not a right action. Buddhism and old philosophy, ancient wisdom talks about actions having a right action and a wrong action, or an unbeneficial, that's the word I tend to use. And so I try to share things that are beneficial, information that can be of use to people. And so that's the thing that I was sharing today, is loneliness. Most of us can do something about it. We can. So, be well.